What if your boss at Intel fired you, and you came back to destroy their empire? That's not just a hypothetical for me, it's my life story. I'm sitting here on my yacht, the sun dipping below the horizon off the coast of California, sipping a drink that costs more than my old monthly rent, and I still can't believe how it all unfolded. But I need to get this off my chest. Reddit. You guys in technology, chip design, startups, you get it. You've seen the headlines, the stock charts plunging like a bad investment. If you've ever felt the sting of corporate betrayal in the tech world, pull up a chair. This is my confession, my rant, my victory lap. It's raw, it's messy, and it's all true. Or at least, it feels that way now. Let me take you back to where it started. My name's Alex Rivera, yeah, that Alex Rivera, the one who's been in the news lately. I was a senior chip engineer at Intel for over a decade. I joined right out of grad school at Stanford, wide-eyed and full of that Silicon Valley dream. Back then, Intel was the giant, the unchallenged king of semiconductors. I worked in the heart of it all, in Hillsboro, Oregon, at one of their massive fabrication plants, for those not in the know. My days were spent in clean rooms, staring at electron microscopes and simulation software, designing processes that powered everything from laptops to data centers. I wasn't just any engineer, I was one of the leads on the next generation's central processing units. Think about it, those chips I helped architect. They were the brains behind artificial intelligence training models, edge computing devices, and high-performance servers that raked in billions for Intel. I remember the late nights in 2023 and 2024, pushing the boundaries of transistor density. We were cramming more power into smaller spaces, optimizing for energy efficiency while boosting clock speeds. My team reduced power consumption by 20% on the latest Xeon series without sacrificing performance. That alone saved data centers millions in electricity costs worldwide. Intel's executives paraded us around like heroes at internal town halls, slapping us on the back with promises of stock options and promotions. "You're the future of this company," my boss, Vice President Harlan Thorpe, told me once over coffee. I believed him. Hell, I lived for it. But the semiconductor industry is a brutal arena. You've got competition from Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, Advanced Micro Devices, Nvidia, everyone gunning for a piece of the pie. Intel was struggling with manufacturing delays, supply chain hiccups from the lingering effects of the pandemic, and the explosive demand for artificial intelligence hardware. By early 2025, whispers started circulating. The stock was dipping, analysts were downgrading, and rumors of cost-cutting measures floated through the cafeterias like bad code. Then came July 2025. I'll never forget that day, July 24th, to be exact. Intel's earnings call dropped like a bomb. New Chief Executive Officer Lip-Bu Tan, who'd just taken the helm, announced a massive restructuring. They were slashing 15% of the workforce to streamline operations and focus on core growth areas. But the numbers told the real story. Over 24,000 employees gone by the end of the year. It wasn't just a layoff, it was a bloodbath. Reports flooded in from Bloomberg, the New York Times, CNN, headlines screaming about Intel's desperate push to cut costs amid slumping sales and fierce competition in artificial intelligence chips. They ended remote work policies overnight, forcing everyone back to the office or out the door. No buyouts, no generous severance packages like in past rounds. Just pink slips and a cold email from human resources. Your position has been eliminated effective immediately. I got the news in a Zoom call. Harlan Thorpe, the same guy who'd called me the future, stared at his screen like he was reading a grocery list. "Alex, we appreciate your contributions, but tough decisions had to be made. That was it. No apology, no explanation beyond market pressures. I poured my soul into that company, missed family vacations, worked through holidays, even ignored my health for deadlines. And just like that, I was out." Betrayed doesn't even cover it. It felt like a gut punch from someone you trusted with your life. The days after blurred into a haze. I spiraled hard. Depression hit like a faulty circuit, shorting out everything. I'd wake up in my apartment in Portland, staring at the ceiling, replaying every meeting, every late-night debug session. What had I done wrong? Was it my push for more innovative designs that clashed with the conservative roadmap? Or was I just a number on a spreadsheet, expendable in their quest to appease Wall Street? The semiconductor crisis was real, chip shortages easing but demand for artificial intelligence-specific hardware skyrocketing, and Intel was fumbling the ball. But knowing that didn't help. I stopped eating right, barely slept. Friends in the industry reached out, sharing their own layoff stories from the wave. Reddit threads in r layoffs exploded with Intel employees venting, "No warning, no net, just dumped like yesterday's tech." One post detailed how the cuts targeted mid-level engineers like me, sparing the C-suite fat cats who'd steered the ship into the iceberg. I hit rock bottom around August. Bills piled up, my savings dwindled, and the job market was a wasteland. Every interview I landed felt like a farce. Companies wanted fresh blood, not a jaded ex-Inteller nursing wounds. One night, I sat in the dark, scrolling through news on my phone. Article after article about the artificial intelligence boom, startups raising millions for custom silicon, venture capitalists throwing money at anything with "neural" in the name. That's when it clicked. Artificial intelligence wasn't just a buzzword. It was the future I'd been building at Intel, but they'd squandered it with outdated processes and bureaucratic red tape. Why not take what I knew and flip the script? It started small. I dusted off my old notebooks, sketches of chip architectures I dreamed up but never pitched. Energy-efficient designs tailored for artificial intelligence workloads. Think low-power neural processing units that could run large language models on edge devices without guzzling electricity like a data center furnace. Intel had toyed with similar ideas but prioritized legacy x86 compatibility over bold innovation. I saw the gap. The world needed chips that sipped power while delivering massive parallel processing for artificial intelligence training and inference. By September 2025, I was hustling. I cashed in what was left of my 401k, moved to a cheaper spot in Austin, Texas, the new hotbed for semiconductors, thanks to incentives and proximity to talent. I networked like my life depended on it, hitting up meetups, LinkedIn, even cold emailing investors. The startup scene was electric, a far cry from Intel's corporate drudgery. Founders in hoodies pitching moonshots over craft beer, accelerators buzzing with ideas. I met a co-founder, Maya Chen, a brilliant software engineer from Google who'd specialized in artificial intelligence frameworks. We clicked instantly. Her code wizardry complemented my hardware expertise. We incorporated in October, NeuralForge Technologies. Our mission: build the next wave of artificial intelligence chips that were sustainable, scalable, and superior to anything on the market. No more bloated power hogs. Our designs used advanced 3-nanometer nodes with custom tensor cores optimized for matrix multiplications, the math backbone of artificial intelligence. I poured everything into the prototypes, working 18-hour days in a rented lab space. The hustle was intoxicating, debugging silicon simulations at 3 a.m., iterating on thermal management to keep chips cool under heavy loads. We faced setbacks, supply chain delays for wafer fabs, bugs in the RTL code that had me pulling my hair out. But each failure felt like progress, not punishment. Funding was the real battle. I pitched to anyone who'd listen, tailoring decks to highlight how our chips could undercut Intel's offerings by 30% on energy costs while boosting performance for artificial intelligence tasks. Rejections stung, too risky, market saturated, but I kept grinding. Then, in December, a breakthrough. A meeting with venture capitalists from Sequoia Capital, arch rivals to Intel's ecosystem. They saw the potential, especially with Intel's stumbles fresh in the news. "You know their weaknesses better than anyone," one partner said, eyes gleaming. We closed a seed round of $15 million. But the real coup. Follow-on investments from Advanced Micro Devices and Nvidia, Intel's direct competitors. They poured in another $25 million, eager to back anything that could chip away at the giant's dominance. Whispers in the valley said it was payback for years of Intel's market bullying. By mid-2026, we were rolling. Our first product, the Forge AI-1, hit the market in prototype form. It was a beast, a system on chip with integrated graphics processing units and neural engines, designed for artificial intelligence at the edge. Think autonomous vehicles processing real-time data without cloud dependency, or smart factories running predictive maintenance models on site. We partnered with startups in robotics and healthcare, demoing at SEI where jaws dropped. "This blows Intel's Meteor Lake out of the water," one reviewer gushed. Sales exploded, major contracts with Amazon Web Services for their artificial intelligence instances, even poaching some of Intel's enterprise clients. Intel felt the heat. Their stock, already battered from the 2025 layoffs and missed earnings, started tanking. By summer 2026, shares were down 40% year-over-year. Analysts cited increased competition in artificial intelligence silicon as a key factor. I watched from afar, a mix of vindication and lingering bitterness. Harlan Thorpe. He got a golden parachute, of course, while 24,000 of us scrambled. The irony burned. The turning point came in July 2026. I got invited to Tech Rebels, a viral podcast hosted by a former Valley insider. They wanted my story, the insider's take on Intel's downfall. I hesitated at first, non-disclosure agreements loomed like shadows. But screw it. I was done playing nice. The episode dropped like dynamite. I spilled everything. The internal memos I'd seen about suppressing innovative designs to protect profit margins, the executive perks amid cost-cutting, the deliberate underinvestment in artificial intelligence fabs that left them vulnerable. They knew the semiconductor crisis was coming, I said, voice cracking with emotion. They fired the very people who could have saved them. Clips went viral, millions of views on YouTube, TikTok shares ripping into corporate greed. Reddit blew up, threads in R, AntiWork and R, technology dissecting my revelations, memes of Intel's logo sinking like the Titanic. The backlash was swift. Intel's public relations machine spun damage control, but it was too late. Investigations followed, Securities and Exchange Commission probes into potential misconduct, class action suits from laid-off employees. My phone rang off the hook, media interviews, speaking gigs. NeuralForge's valuation skyrocketed to over $1 billion in our Series B round. We dominated the artificial intelligence chip market niche, shipping millions of units while Intel scrambled to catch up with rushed redesigns. And now, here I am, September 2026, on this yacht I bought with my first big exit bonus. The ocean breeze carries away the last remnants of that depression. I'm happier than ever, building something real, surrounded by a team that feels like family, not fodder. Maya and I are plotting our next chip, one that could revolutionize quantum-assisted artificial intelligence. But I'm not done with Intel. My lawyers just filed a lawsuit, wrongful termination, breach of contract, and whistleblower protections. It's my final act of revenge, a David slinging one last stone at Goliath. Reddit, if you're reading this, know that the tech world's intensity, the hustle, the betrayal, the thrill of outsmarting the giants, it's all real. Don't let them break you. Rise up, build your empire, and make them regret the day they let you go. What's your story? Share below, I'm all ears from the deck.